joined by Scan. And now, of course, we're going to get into those interviews. And today we've got Snow versus Hyuk, and then JYJ versus Movie. So Scan, take it away with the interviews.
Hello, welcome back to another ASL Season 12 Round24 Group C. We have seen those previous games. There were a lot of crazy games. Tier 4 players, Noob and 815, he made it in. They both made it into round of 16 and beating all those tier 1 players. And before that, before we move into game Group C game number 1, we're going to interview Snow and Hyuk.
장윤철
Hello, how are you
선수는
guys
경기를
doing?
펼치지
Hello.
않더라도 ASL이 있는 날이면 많은 분들이 좀 관심을 가져주시는
Every
것 같아요.
time, whenever there's a group stage, a lot of fans and even other audience
네, 오늘은
have a
또
lot of
본인 경기를 앞두고 이렇게 경기장에
expectation of your
와주셨습니다. 벌써
prediction
10번째
of
시즌을
group
맞이하고
stage, which player will
계시더라고요.
be making it into round of 16 and getting
시간이 많이
eliminated.
흘렀죠. 네.
어쩌다 보니 또 10번이나 했네요.
이번 시즌 12는 장윤철 선수에게 좀 어떤 느낌으로 다가오시나요?
And what kind of feeling do you have when you're about to play this ASL Season 12?
제가 원래
And
자신감이
Snow saying,
많았었거든요.
네.
Snow said he had a lot of confidence in the past, but
좀
he
약간
started to
자신감이 좀
lose
사라진 상태이긴 해요.
his
것
confidence
같아요.
and start feeling
게다가 또 아무래도
the nervous that he
A
might
비조에서
also
좀 예상
lose
밖의
to other
결과들이
players.
장윤철 선수를 약간은 더 부담스럽게 만들 수도 있을 것 같다는 느낌이 드네요.
그쵸, 그 앞에 조에서 저는
So you have seen all those Group A and Group B games.
네, 또 하필이면
You
떨어지니까
said on the prediction. You said your prediction was Snow,
되게 불안불안해요.
Sharp, and Best will be making it into round of 16 easily, but they both got eliminated by Tier 4 player.
오늘 경기를 앞두고는 살짝 긴장을 좀 하신 것 같습니다.
So
박재혁 선수
Snow said
이번에는
he's
좀 인사를
also
나눠볼까요?
someone needs
안녕하세요.
to be paying attention
시즌
of
8 이후에 정말
what he
오랜만에
needs to
또
be working
경기장을
on and
찾아주셨습니다.
how he should
기분이
not
좀
be
어떠세요?
dying to some kind of different strategies compared to the high level
긴장은 크게는 안 되는 것 같아요.
or major tier of pro
장윤철
players.
선수가 지금 약간 위축돼 있는 모습을 보니까 박재혁 선수는 또 어떤 느낌이 드시나요?
And Hyuk, how do you feel when Snow says he doesn't have much of a
자신이
confidence?
있는데
예, 자신은 제가 더 없고 그냥 운이
So
많이
Hyuk
좋아야
says he has
약간 고도의 심리전을 장윤철
less
선수가 좀 펼치고
confident
있는 게
compared to
아닌가라는
Snow.
느낌을 받으시는 건가요?
he thinks Snow
원래
is
좀
lying.
약한 척하면서
Snow usually says on an interview
믿습니다.
that he's
안
not playing
믿는데요,
really
장윤철
well,
선수. 안 믿는데요.
but then when it becomes
다들
into the
안
real
믿는데요.
game,
네.
he starts playing seriously
거짓말쟁인가 봐요.
and beating everyone.
반대로 이 A B조에서 4티어 선수들이 지금 16강에 올라가면서 박재혁 선수에게 또 약간은 새로운 자극으로 다가오지 않았을까 하는 생각도 들거든요.
Hyuk, you have seen all those
박재혁
tier
선수
4
어떠세요?
players made it into round of 16. Wouldn't that
크게 막 생각은 안 하고
Wouldn't that kind of a scenario also give you some motivation that you really need to practice more
일단
and try to get out of this round of 24 group stage?
운을 많이 맡겨야 될 것 같아요.
Hyuk says he has prepared a
그래도
lot, he
A B조에서
practiced a lot as well,
16강에 올라가는
but he
모습을
still
보면서
thinks
박재혁
he
선수도
still thinks he needs some luck
이긴다면 나도 충분히
in
그
order
자리에 갈 수 있지
to
않을까라는 좀
beat all
희망을
those strong
가지셨을
players
것
in this
같거든요. 어떤 선수와의 경기가
round
좀
of 24
가장
group stage.
기대가 되는 경기인가요?
일단 제가 테란전을
Which game is going to be most
영재만 어떻게 이기면은 뭐 윤철이 그냥
great
이승으로
games for you tonight?
Oh.
And he
Okay.
said
뭐 노려볼 만하지 않을까 생각하고 있습니다.
아, 알겠습니다.
he thinks
그리고
he can make it
계시는
into round of
시나리오가 있는
16,
것 같은데요.
probably
이번에는
either beating,
ASL
most likely beating
장윤철
JYJ
선수에게
and
남겨주신 질문인데요.
maybe make it
자,
into round
A조에서
of
조기석 선수,
16.
B조에서 도재욱 선수. 다음 피해자는 누구냐고
So one other
질문을
question
올려주셨어요.
to
사실
Snow,
진출 가능성이 진짜 높았던 선수들이기 때문에
Sharp and Best
억울하거나 좀 할 말이 좀 있으실 것
got
같거든요.
eliminated
선수도?
좀 억울하긴
in round of 24. You said
해요, 진짜로.
on the prediction, you said both of
누가
the players will make it
100명한테
into round of
물어보면
16.
95명이
but they got eliminated.
텐데 저도 그 선수를
Who is going to be the next one will be getting eliminated.
왜 자꾸 떨어지는지 잘 모르겠어요, 저도.
So Snow says he's not really sure why those tier 1 players
를
like
이어서
Best and
예측을
Sharp
하실 텐데
got eliminated.
예측에도 조금 조심스러워지는 부분이 더 많아졌을 것 같아요.
So those tier 1 player really needs to be aware of all those different strategy compared to the other
벌써
pro level
예측을
players.
해주시는 건가요? 지금 보고 계신 선수들이
Because they
살짝
can be very
출렁했을 것
unique.
같아요.
So he's not sure who's going to
장윤철
be getting
선수의 또
eliminated.
예측력이 어디까지 이어질지도 이번 시즌 좀 기대를 모으고 있습니다. 박재영
We are all
선수의
going to be
질문인데요.
expected to see
박재영 선수
some
역시 좀
future
여성
prediction
선수를
in your
알려주는
YouTube
콘텐츠를
video
하고
as
계시잖아요.
네.
네, 또 여성부 종족 최강전 콘텐츠도
And
감독
one of-
역할을 하고
And the
계시는데
caster is
유독
saying
제자분들이 박재영 선수를 잘 따른다
Hyuk,
이런 이야기가
a lot of
있더라고요.
female
제자들을 좀
streamer on
아우르는 그런
Africa.
박재영 선수의 비법이 뭐가 있는지 궁금해.
There are a lot of want to learn
잘
from you,
따른다기보다
and they're actually
도와줄
playing
때
really
좀
well
손
after
던지고
you're
도와주는
after
편이라서.
learning from you.
그래서 조금
And you're also doing all those
의지를
YouTube
조금
contents as well when you're
하는
coaching
것
female
같아
players.
보여요. 예.
스승으로서
So
좀
is there
당근을
any-
더 많이 주시는 편인가요? 채찍을 더 많이 주시는 편인가요?
처음에는 좀 당근 주는 척하다가
Is there any secret
쥐잡듯이 합니다.
move that you can
아,
make
또
those
그런 매력에
students
또 제자들이 좀 많이
to
따르는
come to
모습이
you
있는
and
것
learn
같네요.
from you?
자, 두 선수 이제
There are a lot
24강
of other
경기를
experts as
앞두고
well, but
마지막
they're all
각오를 한
coming to you.
말씀씩 들어보겠습니다.
Hyuk said-
장윤철 선수 한 말씀 해주시죠.
네, 그 좀 많이
He
졌어요. 많이
thinks
져가지고 더
he was
열심히
pointing out
준비해왔습니다.
all those,
떨어지면 너무 아쉽기 때문에 꼭 올라가.
The weaknesses that
네,
female
박재영
players
선수.
are not doing. Probably that could be the reason.
제 나이도 많고
And any last
한계를
word?
많이 느끼는데 게임하면서 이번에
Before we end the
이번에
interview,
되게
and
좀
Snow said he will
한계를
try his best,
뚫는 그런 시기가 됐습니다.
just like usual. And Hyuk
네, 두 선수
says
24강에서 멋진 대결 기대하겠습니다.
wants
인터뷰
to
고맙습니다.
go over of his
자,
limit.
이렇게
He
24강
wants to
시즌
pass
첫
his limit
경기를
and play
앞두고
better
있는
for
장윤철
his
선수와
future
박재혁 선수와
offline
함께
stage
이야기
game.
나눠봤습니다. 두
We
선수
have
모두
finished with the
절실함이 조금은
interview.
엿볼 수
We
있는
have finished the interview
인터뷰였는데요. 자,
with
두 번째 경기를
Hyuk
앞두고 있는
and
선수들도
Snow.
만나봐야겠죠. 정영재
We
선수와
also need
진영환
to
선수 만나보겠습니다.
interview
안녕하세요.
other two players who
네,
are
먼저
going to be played on
정영재
game number 2,
선수입니다.
JYJ and
안녕하세요.
Movie. Hello, how are you guys doing?
네, 지난
Hello.
시즌 모두 아쉬운 부분이 있긴 하지만 계속해서 성장하는 모습을
In the previous
14강,
season,
16강, 8강 이렇게 또
you
보여주고
probably were
계세요.
also
이번
disappointed
시즌
that
시조 편성은
you got
정영재
eliminated
선수에게
in
얼마나 좀
quarterfinal
웃어주고 있나요?
against Queen.
일단 좋은 조긴 한데
How do you feel about this ASL
A's
Season
에서
12
워낙
Round of
공격이
24
많이 일어나서 지금 너무
그랬죠.
group
네.
stage? And he says he kind of likes about
타고는
this.
못 느끼겠어요. 토스가 두 명이라서.
He kind of likes. He kind of likes
진영환
about this
선수도 커다란
group
부담으로
with
다가올 것
those,
같습니다.
players,
워낙 또
but
어떤 경기를 펼칠지 예상하기
he's
쉽지 않을
still
것
not
같아요.
sure
진영환
whether he
선수와
can make it
인터뷰 좀
into round of
나눠보겠습니다.
16 or
안녕하세요.
not because there are two Protoses
시즌 6
are
이후
standing from the
정말
left and right.
3년 만에 ASL을 찾아주셨습니다. 진짜
So
오랜만이에요.
movie, how long have you
네, 잘
been?
지내셨나요?
And you were been
뭐,
gone
나름대로 뭐
more than
많이 하고.
more than 3 years.
휴식 시간을
haven't
어떻게
seen you for 3 years.
보내셨는지도 좀 듣고 싶어요.
So movie said he was pretty much
이제
resting.
지나고 보니까 좀 약간 신인의 마음으로 돌아가게 되더라고요. 지금
So since he has not
처음에 이제
played on the
게임
offline
그런
stage for
느낌이
like
약간
many years,
처음으로 좀 떨리는 것 같아요.
지금
He's-
긴장을
he
많이
feels
하고 계시는 것 같아요.
nervous
오랜만에 또 경기장을
on
찾아주셨기
this
때문에
offline stage.
오늘 경기
Plus,
준비하면서 좀 기대되거나 만나고
he
싶은
kind of feels like
선수가
fresh of
있으신가요?
becoming a newbie player.
사실 뭐 좀 약간 자신과의 싸움 같아요. 네, 상대분들도
The
뭐
movie
다
says-
다르시니까 제가 어떻게 하냐에 따라서 좀 달라질 것 같아요.
A lot of players are very
정영재
strong
선수도 나름의 좀
nowadays,
부담이 있을
but
것
he still
같다라는
needs to be
느낌이
working
있는데
on
일단
of
16강에
his
유영진
weaknesses as
선수밖에
well.
테란이
And in order to
없습니다.
make it into
또
round
만약
of
오늘
16, he
정영재
thinks
선수가
he needs to
올라간다면
fight
처음으로
himself
시드가
of
아닌
his mechanic
테란
most likely.
16강료가 되시는 건데 이런 부분에 대한 좀 책임감이나 좀 부담감이 있으신가요?
일단 책임감
Is there any-
생각할 때가 아닌 것 같고요.
어,
앞서에서 너무 이변이 많아서 지금 너무 불안해요. 그냥.
어떤 선수가 가장 정영재 선수를 좀 불안하게 만드나요?
So he was saying something
진영환
about
뭐 어디
responsibility.
좀
Maybe
오랜만에
she was
오셨는데
asking about
그래서 너무 불안.
Terran player list of responsibility because a lot of Terran players were getting eliminated. He feels pressure when fans have those expectations when they are playing.
질문을 남겨주셨는데
And also
지난 시즌
anti-fans
8강까지
also
올라가는
start
동안
harassing him as well. So
여자친구분에게 좀 인사를
he
못
feels
드려서
nervous.
서운했다라고 하는데 이번엔 좀 언제쯤 언급을 해주실지 궁금해하시더라고요.
일단 전 시즌 8강에서 떨어졌는데 이번 시즌이
okay,
그래서
so one other question to JYJ.
4강을 가면은
We have seen Rush was saying I love you to his wife
이 정도면
when he
굉장한
won
자신감을
his
좀
wild
내비치고 계시는 게
card
아닌가
and so
싶은데요.
on,
자, 이번에는
or on the
진영환
interview
선수에게
in ASL
남겨주신
Season
질문입니다.
11.
이 진영환
And
선수가
when are you
방송을
going to
오랫동안
say something
쉬었음에도
about your
불구하고
girlfriend
예선을
on
뚫어내셨어요.
interview?
그리고 또
When is it going to
복귀 후에도
be?
꽤나 폼이 되게 좋다라는 평가가 있는데 진영화 선수가
And JYJ said,
아니면 노력형인지 본인의 생각은 어떠신지 질문을 남겨주셨네요.
I think I totally missed it, but I think JYJ said he will
재능이다.
try
나는
to
재능러다.
mention about his girlfriend,
노력 많이 남들보다 안 하는
girlfriend support.
오.
네, 근데 이번에는 근데 노력 많이 했습니다.
이번
And try
시즌은 좀
to-
다른가요?
Say
나름대로
thank you
이제
to her, thank you to his
한달
girlfriend.
동안
And one other question to movie.
과연 재능형이
Do
노력까지
you think
더해졌을
yourself
때
more
보여줄 수 있는
likely
경기력은
a
어느
talented
정도일지
player
굉장히
or
기대됩니다. 자, 두
effort
선수
player?
끝으로 각오 한 말씀씩
And movie said
들어보겠습니다.
he's
정영재 선수.
more likely a talented player.
4강이
But then right now he
오늘만
still needs to be
어떻게
working on the
충분히 갈 수 있을
mechanics
것 같거든요.
and knowledges.
최선을 다해보도록 하겠습니다.
So
네, 진영화 선수 한 말씀 해주시죠.
he still thinks he belongs in a talented player. And last word before we go into the game, JYJ.
승리로 이야기하겠다라고 말씀해 주셨는데요. 두 선수
He'll
모두
try
멋진 경기
to
기대하도록
try his
하겠습니다.
best to
인터뷰
make it into
고맙습니다.
round of 16. And movie said
자, ASL 시즌 12
since he hasn't
이렇게
played for a
24강
long time,
시즌
he'll
경기를
try his
앞두고
best
있는
to
4명의
make it into round
선수와
of
함께
16
이야기
as well and
나눠봤습니다.
show his
과연
best.
오늘은 어떤 선수들이 16강에 오를 수 있을지
And we're done
지금부터
with the
24강
interviews. Thank
시즌
you for
경기
the
함께
interview.
만나보시죠.
We are moving into game number 1 now of Group C.
Yep, thank you, Scan. So we're going to be getting into game number 1. It is Snow versus Hyuk, and you got to feel a little worried for Snow because both of the Tier 1 players from Group A and Group B have already been eliminated. And Hyuk, he's a strong player, but I think Hyuk is known for his Zerg versus Zerg, right? I feel like I remember that from the old SKT days. And we know that Snow's very strong PvZ. I remember you mentioning something about Snow experimenting with upgrades, right? Like
Oh, yes.
yeah, with the previous interview, he was talking about rushing armor and then also talking about shields. So I'd be curious to see how he uses his upgrades because we saw Sulky earlier. He rushed armor, and you know for sure Snow was taking note of that.
No, yes. I'm not sure why Soki has gone for the armor upgrade. Was he actually going for heavy meta Scourge playstyle? I don't think so. Because
Yeah,
if you're not going heavy meta Scourge playstyle, you'll be able to switch to Mass Hydra easily and get the +1 ASAP, but he kind of turtled up and getting the armor 1 upgrade that game.
Yeah, I remember that game on Eclipse. He turtled up like crazy. Actually, there was a moment where I thought, okay, this guy has actually way too many lurkers. It was like 80% lurkers and 20% Hydraless. And as I mentioned, Snow... Okay, well, first off, let's get a look at the groups. So we already see that Sulky and Noob made it out of Group A. Free and 815 out of Group P. That was a big shocker to me. And now Group C, Snow, Hyuk, JYJ, and Movie. There's a lot of interesting storylines here. Of course, Snow looking to make a Tier 1 player make it out finally. Hyuk looking for the upset. But the most interesting matchup for me is JYJ versus Movie because in past seasons, JYJ looks unstoppable versus Protoss. He's just been killing everybody. But Movie, I mean, he's really damn good, and we haven't seen him in 3 years. And as he mentioned, he's a talented player. And actually, there's one game that comes to mind from Movie. It's a very, very long time ago. It was on Heartbreak Ridge where he pulled out a 5-gate goon build versus, I don't remember the Zerg player, but this guy has a bunch of weird, unique builds that Snow was talking about. So I want to see if he can take down someone like JYJ. What are your thoughts on this group?
My thoughts of this group, I think JYJ will have some difficulty playing against Protoss, just like how other Terran players were struggling in Group A and Group B, like Sharp losing to Tier 4 Protoss, and Sock also having some struggle playing against Free, who hasn't played StarCraft for like more than 3 months, like he was taking a break. So yeah, JYJ needs to be preparing this game number 1 when he plays against Movie.
So of course we're going into the first game of the day, and I'm shocked at those statistics because when I think of Protoss versus Zerg specialists, of course the first person that comes to mind is Bisu, but then after that in the modern era, you think of Snow as leading the charge versus Zerg in the meta. To see him only have a 36% win rate versus Zerg, that's quite surprising. He's got an amazing win rate versus Protoss and Terran, though. Now I'm waiting to see what Hyuk's stats are because, as I stated, I feel like I remember him being a Zerg versus Zerg specialist. Okay, he doesn't have any history versus Protoss. So what about Hyuk versus Snow? Can Hyuk take down Snow?
Well, I've seen quite a lot of games of Hyuk's ZVP. He's so aggressive, just like how Queen is with Mass Hydra. I think he's like the one of the Zerg players who doesn't really like to go for lurker switches, just pure going Mass Hydra and try to end the game super fast. So I want to see how he will be playing. Like what's the different playstyle compared to Queen? Even though both of the players are kind of like similar, similar concept of playing very aggressive playstyle. I would like to see how he's gonna be playing against Snow, since Snow has been showing all those super fast armor to upgrade after the +1 attack, and how he's gonna be dealing with it.
Yeah, surprisingly, I'm looking forward to seeing something like a Hydra bust because it feels like we haven't seen like super aggressive 973 or something along those lines in quite a while, other than the one game that we saw Larva versus Mini last season. Remember that was like a 2-hatch Hydra bust on Polypoid? So I actually am kind of feeling like, okay, I would like to see Hyuk bring it to Snow and then of course see how Snow deals with that type of pressure. Our first map, I missed it. Did you get a glimpse? Okay, first map of the day is going to be Eclipse. Let's get into game number 1 between Snow versus Hyuk. So in the top right, in the blue, or in the red now, it is Snow. And in the bottom left, we have our blue Zerg player. It is Hyuk. So you mentioned that Hyuk is an aggressive type of player. Does that mean that he's specifically aggressive with Hydras, or is there potential that we may see something like 9-pool speed opener from him?
Oh no, he's not a player who likes to go 9-pool speed. But I know he likes to play macro style, but then once he's fully saturated with 3 base mining, he started making so much of a Hydra list and start harassing or pressuring his opponent. And I think he's most likely gonna go for maybe 12 hatchery with the Overlord, first Overlord making.
Alright, well we see Snow with the pylon. He sent his probe back, getting a little bit of extra minerals. Now, I feel like we've been seeing forge openers, but maybe I'm wrong. We're seeing the probe come back down, so this is going to be a gate opener, typical opener from Snow. And he's got amazing zealot control, and that's a 9-pool, right?
No, that's overpull. That's an overpull and a 10 gateway by Snow.
Overpool from Hyuk, so he is just going to play the safe opener. Meanwhile, probe coming across the map. We're going to keep our eyes closely looking at Snow's build order, because remember last season we saw Mini innovate with the cybernetics at the front and really get his tech going. I want to see if Snow has implemented that into his play. Meanwhile, probe timing is going to be perfect to intercept this drone. Oh, no, that's just going to be a scouting drone, or potentially going to the 3rd base. It is just going to build a hatchery at mid left.
So I guess he doesn't want to lose building that hatchery on time and not losing all those additional larvae whenever he can get it. So he's going to be morphing that hatchery at the 9 o'clock side. And I want to see how many Zergling he'll be making, whether he's going to be making 6 Zergling or 2 drone with the 2 Zergling only. Okay, there's the 1 drone coming up, maybe 4 Zergling then. He doesn't know whether this is going to be the gateway opener or the forge opener.
Oh, that's two drones. Is this too greedy?
I would say it's somewhat greedy, and Snow is also watching how many Zergling Hyuk is also making. But Snow has seen the extractor already started before the third hatchery starts. That means if Snow's so for Hyuk's point of view, if Snow ever tries to do some type of a Zealot regression in the beginning with the gateway opener, he's gonna be committing to go for Zergling speed and 3 hatches Zergling all in, just like how Larva has done it or Queen has done it. So he needs to be aware of it, and I don't think Snow is interested of going for any type of pressure.
Well, look at this. I think this is going to be the Cybernetics opener because Snow already put down his gas. Trying to keep my eyes peeled on that natural, whether we're going to see the Forger Cybernetics go down. In the main, he has another pylon, but I haven't seen a big block of a building go down just yet. So waiting to see what the actual follow-up is going to be. It was just placed at the natural. It's got to be the Cybernetics. Oh, it's a Forge. So he's going to be rushing +1, I guess.
We also saw Hyuk has used the 100 Vespene gas, and he's sending a couple of Zergling to Snow's natural. And he's also cutting his gas with only 2 drone mining on the Vespene gas, and I think Hyuk is pretending that he's playing standard with the lair attack opening, but with this 5 Zergling, whenever he gets the metabolic boost or even sneak in with those Zergling before the cannon finishes, maybe with the metabolic boost timing, he will try to harass Snows as much as he can, but one of the Zealot has to be very careful.
Yeah, that Zealot at the top just kept bouncing back and forth into his main, and I thought that Snow was going to lose that surrounded Zealot, but he manages to save it. Now Snow scrambling to get up a cannon behind. We see that Snow has a lot of gas banked up. Okay, he spent 100. I guess that's going into the +1 upgrade just now.
Yeah, we are seeing finally the Stargate is going to start. I guess that Vespene gas were used for the Forge upgrade earlier. So Snow is getting a really fast +1 upgrade and not getting the Stargate or for the intel with the Corsair timing. But he gets to see there's a 5 Zergling speed has complete.
Yeah, +1 has started. Stargate has been put down. Meanwhile, we did not see a lot of lings coming out from Hyuk. There's the Spire. And we are just waiting for him to get up that great saturation that you were talking about. Now, Fast Citadel for Snow, generally indicative of the Zealot push out with 1 DT behind it. So we'll see if that's the case with Snow. Remember, the past couple groups, I think in each series we saw a Dark Archon come out. So maybe Snow's looking to implement that into his play. We've got the 4th hatchery going down at the 3rd base. And I expect to see the 5th hatch coming down soon. And this is where I think Hyuk's image is coming into play, because we see that Snow is actually putting down a 2nd cannon. Of course, he's blind, so he has no idea. And you were talking about how aggressive Hyuk is. So this is a bit of a waste of minerals for Snow right now.
So yeah, Snow has lost at an early probe scout by the super fast Zergling speed, and finally the Corsair will be flying towards the Hyuk's main base to figure out whether that is going to be any types of Hydra play or Spire Tech play. But we get to see from the minimap, Hyuk is already making the 2nd extractor without a Hydra Den, so we may have to expect to see some Mura Scourge opening, just like how 815 has shown in a previous game. And the Corsair, I don't think the Corsair has seen the 2nd gas, did he?
I think he didn't, but we see that, okay, Hyuk has now just started mining gas there, but he doesn't have an overwhelming amount of gas, so it should be just 5 mutas if he's going to build mutas. Of course, 5 is the magic number to one-shot probe, so Snow does need to be a little bit careful. Now, we haven't gotten a glimpse into Snow's main. Is he continuing to build Sairs? I imagine he is, but of course we don't know just yet. Now, these lings have found some Zealots, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
I think Hyuk was trying to get some of a couple Zergling before the +1 attack finishes. I think this is one of the best decision making that Hyuk can really do, because once that +1 attack finishes for Snow, those Zergling becomes really useless. And I think that was a fair amount of trade for Hyuk, and also lower down the HP as well. And finally, the couple of middles will be out on the map, will be intercepting those Zealot. So Snow has to back up and maybe split up his army and distract the attention as much as he can. Those Zealot will cleared up even though the +1 attack has been finished.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried for Snow now because these Zealots did nothing. And like you said, the Lings traded very well. The Zealot's going to sit there, but I don't think it should be able to get any damage done, even if it's able to sit there for a couple minutes. We saw that Snow's building up the Sair count. Evolution Chamber has gone down for Hyuk at his third base. Meanwhile, Hydrodin has gone down at his natural. So that is going to be the switch into Hydras. Now, meanwhile, the question has been answered. Yes, Snow has been building Sairs. He has 5 of them right now, but no cannon support. So Mutas may find a few probe kills. Ooh. Almost gets connection onto those Sairs with the Scourge.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive play by Hyuk, picking a couple of workers at the natural, but he also lost 3 drones at the third expansion. And Hyuk also knows Snow is also making a lot of Corsairs, so he knows he should not be giving up the air battle. I think he's gonna be start squeezing all those Vespin gas for Muta and Scourge, and when whoever wins the air battle, I think that's gonna slowly deciding the game whether who's gonna be winning this or favored towards to win this game.
Well, I'm getting flashbacks to the 815 game scan because this econ is crazy. He's been droning all the way up to the 9-minute mark. Look at the supply. It's 85 to 82. No joke, I think Hyuk may have something like 40 or so drones, 45 drones maybe. His econ is just bananas, and Snow has already lost a lot of his pressure with the Zealots, and we know that now Hyuk switching into Hydras, and he's just going to have so many Hydras. Meanwhile, Mutas are continuing to harass this mineral line, and slowly but surely, I think Hyuk's going to overcome the supply of Snow. I mean, look at that ground army scan. It's pitiful.
Yeah, it's barely nothing compared to how much of a Hyuk's army right now has. And Hyuk is slowly switching. Okay, he's not committing to go for air battle here. He's just gonna be using a couple of middles, and 2 Hydras were out of place, but he got the intel where the Zealot and the Archon is. And those Corsa will be trying to picking up a couple of Scourge. I think one of the Corsa just blown up there. I think Snow really needs to be careful with the Corsair micro here. Nicely done.
Well, I did see that the air for Hyuk has no +1 armor, and I think that those Sairs, of course, are going to have +1. So he's going to be careful with the Muta and Scourge. They will melt instantly, because that's something like 7 or 8 Sairs for Snow right now. Meanwhile, Snow's going to move out across the map again, but we already saw that the Hydra count is pretty damn high. I don't see this really finding much success. Robo has started for Snow also, and we see that +1 armor has kicked in for Snow. So he's got a power spike. He wants to use it.
Yeah, look at that number of Hydra list. Like I said in the beginning, once those 3 bases completely saturated, Hyuk is gonna be super aggressive with the mess Hydra here. And the High Templars were spotted, but I think it wasn't a vision for Snow. And Snow is also aware about protecting his High Templar. And if Hyuk intercepted 2 High Templars from the behind, I think this is gonna be so crucial. One of the High Templars will go down second as well. Ooh.
Yeah, he gets both Templars, but at the same time, he lost basically all of his Mutalisks. And you saw how fast those Sairs decimated the Mutalisks. So there's going to be no more future Templar snipes unless Hyuk continues to build some Mutas. But he's not doing that right now. He's going into the Lurker switch. Meanwhile, Snow looks like he's setting up for a third base.
Yeah, I think Snow is trying to take the third base, but just by looking at the army and how much of a Hydralist right now out on the map, and those Hydralists were out of position and getting surrounded by the Zealots, and they just get deleted over there. But the half of the army with the 3 Lurkers with a couple of Hydralists will be trying to go for the attack here and pressure Snow as much as you can. Maybe contain here, just like how we have seen 815 did against who was it? Best.
Well, there are 4 Lurkers set up, and there's no observers just yet, but at the same time, Snow has half his army already out on the map, and I can see a big sandwich coming momentarily. I think this is a bit over-eager from Hyuk, but that is 1 observer. The Overlord does not catch it, though, and that means that this entire army is going to get cleaned up pretty easily.
So those 3-4 Lurkers has sacrificed for the saving couple of Hydralists. I think those 4 Lurkers have done couple of damage or some amount of damage with the lurker spike, the lurker damage spike, and I think Zealot might be somewhat low HP and mixed with the full HP as well. But here is Mass Hydra. We see that is definitely a lot of Hydralisks we are seeing right now.
Yeah, supply is still okay for your Huck. It's 125 versus 155 of snow. However, there's a lack of lurkers now. Okay, those are bunched up hydras and they eat a lot of storms. And snow's coming from both sides, but is it just flat out too many hydras? Looks like there's not any more storms left. Take that back. That's a big hit onto a bunch of hydras and a single lurker there. God, he's just eating so much storm, yet he still pushes through.
And yeah, he is trying to morph those 4 lurkers at the front as well, but one of the Zealot will be spotting the 4th expansion as well. But High Templars will get picked off. Those High Templars is very expensive. He really needs it right now. We know that Snow has lost the Forge in a couple minutes ago. His +2 armor upgrade is going to be delayed more than standard timing. And I think Hyuk might be getting the +2 attack before +2 armor finishes for Snow. And this aggressive playstyle right now, Hyuk is showing. Lurkers are slowly going towards to the 3rd expansion, and Zealot tries to do some damage, but these Mass Hydra is just way too strong.
Yeah, they are chewing through all of the Zealots, and there's no more storms available for Snow, but he does have the 3rd base with cannons on the high ground. Look how fast these Zealots die! And I'm keeping my eye on the Corsairs at the bottom middle because actually the Overlords are sitting at the natural just slightly above. Oh no, you can't send probes! Lurkers might chew through all of these probes!
The Lurkers are somewhat out of range, and I guess those probe was able to transfer towards the 3rd expansion. But a lot of Overlords getting hunted by this number of Corsairs, and we know Hyuk doesn't have the armor 1 upgrade for the Overlord. Gotta be careful. And now Snow is feeling safe with the 3rd base as well. Hyuk is slowly pumping a couple of drones for the 4th expansion as well. So I guess both of the players will be taking a little bit of a short time break here.
Yeah, but still there's a lot of pressure being put onto this 3rd base. You know Snow's feeling the pressure because he wants to bust out of this lurker contain. Saw in Snow's main that double Forge went down to try and compensate for the lack of Forge. Great storms again, blanketing a lot of the Hydras, and now Snow's starting to take about a 20 supply lead. Meanwhile, Sayers not finding any Overlords just yet, and as you mentioned, the 4th base is up and running now for Hyuk. I haven't seen, does he have Hive yet?
No, he hasn't, but we saw the +2 attack is already done for Hyuk. And we also have seen from the observer point of view that we got the intel that Snow is upgrading with the 2 Forge, so I guess he's getting that 2-2 upgrade on the way right now. But I'm not sure if this is a good trade for Snow because he doesn't have much of a goon count yet. More lurkers will be getting borrowed at the front line, and these Zealots is just getting melted super easily. Look how fast those Zealots are dying.
Yeah, I was looking at Zerg's army, and I was like, well, that's not really that much there, but the lurkers were chewing through everything. Meanwhile, a lot of Hydras on the backside trying to find some Templars, but in the end, not able to find success. DT sneaks into the 3rd base, and there's no Overlord, and this might be what Snow needs to increase his supply gap.
So from the minimap, we can see he's right now busy microing his Hydralisk to pick a couple of High Templars, but it's not really working well. But one of the Dark Templars will be constantly picking up those drones. I don't think Hyuk is realizing yet from the minimap. I think this is gonna be losing his power about doing the macro here because Snow is slowly adding more of a gateway because he's completely saturated with the 3 base mining. Okay, finally he got he noticed one of the Dark Templar was sneaked in at the 3rd expansion.
Yeah, and that might be the killing blow that Snow needed. You can see Hyuk's feeling the pressure, so he instantly goes for a massive counter. Hydras and Lurkers setting up, but that's a lot of storm and a lot of goons. But it still might just be an overwhelming amount of Hydras and Lurkers. But after this attack, you don't think Hyuk is going to have much left. His supply is plummeting down to just 90 versus 130 of Snow. And the goon count, it feels like it's overwhelming now.
Yeah, that 2-2 upgrade with the armor, that armor 2 upgrade is just pretty much paying off all those jobs for the goon. Like, they don't really die to Hydralisk right now. And they're also range unit, picking up the lurkers really well. And I guess Hyuk is scrambling around his units and losing his army everywhere. Now I think he's losing his pace, I think we might going to see GG very soon. Oh,
Yeah,
he
more
even
than-
lost his 4th base.
Yeah, he lost the 4th base to a single DT, and now Snow has complete control over the middle of the map. Expect to see a 4th base pretty soon, but really, we're probably going to see the GG from Hyuk pretty soon. Maybe he's going to do 1 or 2 more rounds of units and try and make a miracle happen. Well, maybe not. We see drones being built. He's going to try and transition out of this, but this is such a hard position for him. Goon count is insane. That DT is still alive. 18 kills. What a hero.
Yeah, that's like those Dark Templars just pretty much killing the game here, and Hyuk is trying to keep up the game. I guess he wants to, I think he knows he's gonna lose this game because he lost all those drone a couple minutes ago. I think he just pretty much wants to do some warm up before he moves into a losers match.
Well, attacking uphill with the Hydras, not exactly the most ideal move, but that Templar didn't have any storm, so he gets a Goon and he gets a Templar. That's the pickoffs that he needs to try and get back into this game, but we see Snow is taking his 4th base. Snow's main and natural is completely dry, though. Oh my, are we serious? Is he going to get into the 3rd base again? There's no Overlord scan!
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think this Hero DT is just pretty much assassinating all those drones. 24 kills already, 26. I would like to see how many kills he's gonna be making. I guess this one of the scene, maybe getting into opening video in the future, like showing the highlight video scene. Oh, he's gonna be the victim. Hyuk is going to be the victim of a highlight video.
Yeah, that's a nightmare DT. Literally, that DT single-handedly brought the game back for Snow. I think Hyuk was just in a great position. And I mean, if you look at the supply, 150 to 100, I mean, it's not ideal for Zerg. But imagine if Zerg had 30 drones, because that's what he lost. He would be probably almost max at this point. So really, just a single mistake, losing all the drones to the DT, costs Hyuk this game potentially. I don't really know what he can do now. He's just between
Yeah.
a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I don't see any future, and I think Hyuk made those mutalists. Maybe he wants to do some muta micro for warm up against the JYJ. Maybe he might be facing on a losers match. That could be the reason why he made the muta, because Armor 2 High Templar does not die to 9 muta, if I'm sure about it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but regardless, the Goon count is crazy high. Like, the Goon, even if he loses all the Templars, I think the ground army just standing up can probably deal with the mass Hydras that Hyuk has. Hyuk is going for a 4th base, and if Snow continues to sit here, Hyuk may actually get it. Maybe Snow's not recognizing the position he's in. Look at those drones. He still has so many drones. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's really good at macro right now.
Yeah.
And Snow is also turtling here, taking his 4th base. I think Snow knows he's gonna be winning this game most likely, because he knows Hyuk doesn't have the 4th base. And remember, and whenever you go into the late game in ZVP, always Zerg is gonna be mined out 3 base at the same time. Main base, natural, and the 3rd base at the same time. So even if Hyuk wants to play the macro game and late game here, he's just gonna be stuck at 1 base mining at the 10 o'clock side, and Snow still has a 2 base mining here.
Yeah, it is just a countdown until those bases are mined out, as you mentioned. And we saw that Hyuk, I guess, realized that 9 mutas are not going to one-shot the Templar, so he ended up building 11 there. And he did pick off 1, but lost 7 mutas in return. And this is more than likely the death march from Snow. He's moving into the position. He's already going to pick off a lurker. I think there's only 3 other lurkers that remain there. And he's got a 70 supply lead. I think he has 3-3 also. Okay, he has 2-3. Oh, another great storm from Snow. There's just no answer to this. It's just an overwhelming army.
That armor 3 gun. I don't know how Hydralus is just gonna kill those 3 gun, because they're behind in the with the upgrade. And I guess Snow is gonna be ending the game here, going for the attack move here. But gotta be careful. I'm using the storm on right spot.
Yep, you can see that Snow's making sure he doesn't make any mistakes, slowly but surely moving into position. Great storms, kill a lot of hydras, kill some mutas. Hyuk still has a lot on the bottom side, but there's still a lot of storms available for Snow. He gets another huge hit with that storm. Another good storm. And... okay, I thought Snow was going to turn around, but no, it's just too much Snow. Well, maybe he is going to turn around.
I mean, look at the supply count.
Yeah.
Snow's supply is not even going down. Okay, he did lose about 20, but Hyuk is losing more than Snow is losing. Snow is going to be winning this game number 1 of a round of 24 Group C.
Yeah, Snow played perfectly there, and Hyuk, I was impressed. His mid game was super solid. Really, the DT saving the game for Snow, as I mentioned. And, you know, actually, I hope we see a rematch potentially between these two players, because that was a really good game, and Hyuk's EVP is on point. So, Movie, he's got to be worried watching that game, because Hyuk looked really solid.
Yeah, Hyuk has shown all those macro playstyle and optimization as well in early mid game as well. I would like to see how he's going to be playing against Movie and even against JYJ, who is one of the type of Terran player who doesn't like to play Rax expand most likely. We have seen JYJ playing 1 base 2 Rax and 1-1-1 and some other playstyle that I don't know he has shown on an ASL stage, but he does like to go mech play against Zerg.
Yes, that should be an interesting matchup if we get to see it. Next match is going to be JYJ versus Movie, but we got to go into commercial real quick, so don't go anywhere. Alright guys, we're back. Game 1 is in the books. We saw Snow.
LG 울트라케어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 12
My
24강
mistake. We've got to talk about the ASL Tumbler,
첫
of
경기
course.
승리자는 장윤철 선수였는데요.
So
자, 두
first
번째
of all,
경기 만나보시기
we have seen
앞서서 온라인으로
ASL Season
시청하고
12
계신 시청자 여러분들을 위해
round
준비된
of,
이벤트
Group
안내해드리겠습니다.
C round of 24.
자, 먼저 에스크
Snow has won
ASL입니다.
the first
ASL
game.
공식 방송국을
And
통해
before we
진행되는데요.
move into game number 2, we will be showing up, showing some ASL Season 12 event. Ask ASL if you ask a question
자, 또
ASL
하나의
main
이벤트는
platform
SNS를 통해
to the
진행됩니다.
player
상위 라운드에 진출할 것 같은
will
선수를 좋아요와
decide
함께
which
댓글로
comment will
남겨주시면
be
역시
getting
추첨을 통해
selected,
ASL
and
텀블러를 보내드리도록
people who
하겠습니다.
got selected for those Ask
시청자 여러분들의
ASL,
많은
they are
참여를
getting the coffee.
부탁드리면서 이어지는 두
And
번째 경기
also, you also
정영재
can get
선수와
some
진영화
tumbler
선수의
as
경기죠.
well.
이클립스에서 함께 하시죠.
And we're moving into game number 2, JYJ versus Movie on Eclipse.
Yeah, so JYJ versus Movie. This should be a good matchup. As I mentioned before, JYJ's been killing it versus Protoss in the past 2 seasons. Now, let me ask you about Movie. We haven't seen him in so long. What type of playstyle can we expect from him? Is he already up to date with like the mini-esque meta where we're seeing, tons and tons of shuttles and harassment play?
I don't think he would play like that, but since he's playing on Eclipse, like the 2-player map, I think he probably figures he needs to play somewhat aggressive playstyle, maybe Reaver Micro, or maybe even go for Fast Arbiter. I played against Movie on ladder 1 or 2 games, and he's still a good player. He knows how to take mass expansion whenever he can. He has the access to take more of an expansion when Terran is not doing anything, and he's the type of player who likes to play slow and knows how to snowball there. He doesn't like to constantly go for the attack and pressure the Terran and try to like eat up those siege tank or lower down the tank count. He's the type of player who likes to snowball and go for super late game, and even if he has gone for the Arbiter, he likes to switch for mass surprise carrier opening.
Okay, so we might see some Arbiter carrier combination. It will be interesting to see how Movie plays super late game versus JYJ, because thinking back to what you said before we went to the break, JYJ does play aggressive sometimes. I think we saw on Ultimate Stream there was a huge, massive push that JYJ did versus Best last season. He had a really sick timing. I don't think Movie's going to be able to sit there and get to late game versus someone like JYJ. JYJ will hit his macro, hit his timing, but it will be nice to see if we can actually get to that Arbiter carrier super comp that you're talking about. So let's get into game 2 of the day. It's going to be JYJ versus Movie on Eclipse. All right, in the top right in the blue, our Terran player, it is JYJ. Meanwhile, in the bottom left in the red, someone we haven't seen in years, it is Movie. So we saw in Group A, Noob go for back-to-back 12 Nexuses. Do you think that's a potential opener we might see on Eclipse?
I'm not sure, but Movie has seen all those Protoss player has done 12 Nexus and was successful to win the game on this 2-player map, and we see Movie is already sending out the probe at 7, so I guess he's prepared for maybe gas steal. No, this is somewhat late to go for Proxy Gate. Okay, here's going to be the pylon at the main base.
Yep, this is going to be a gas steal opener. We're going to have to keep our eyes locked on Movie's main to see what he wants to do afterwards. A lot of players that I face on the ladder will just take a fast Nexus, whether it's off of a gate and no gas, or if it's, just straight up Nexus after the gas steal. So we'll have to see if that's what he wants to go for. Meanwhile, SCV does not get in position in time to deny that probe from getting in, so this gas is long gone. Now, what do you like to do in this particular scenario?
Whenever I see gas steal this fast before depot finishes, I can immediately figure out this is not going to be a proxy gate, most likely. And JYJ should also know this is not going to be any proxy gate opening. And he should be knowing this is going to be a gas steal first and not doing any kind of aggression. We see JYJ is not even going to go for the scout and to try to spot some proxy gate location. He's just going to be constantly focus on optimization and chase that probe and hunt that down. And Movie really needs to be careful with the probe micro here. Okay, he will be getting inside of a simulator. And,
oh my gosh!
That hurts.
I cannot understate how hard that is to do, to snipe a probe like that. So he kills the probe. Just unreal. That I don't think that's ever happened to me where I've been able to do something like that. Now, meanwhile, we do see that this is the Nexus follow-up after a just straight gateway, no gas, and it looks like JYJ is going to go gasless himself.
Yeah, I think this is a poor optimization of movie when I'm looking at it, because normally the Zealot should have been already out and walking towards the JYJ's base in the middle of the map, but there's still no Zealot out on the map. But we can see movie has gone for the Nexus. I guess he has gone for 13 Nexus with the gateway opening. I'm not sure what kind of build this is.
Well, that made me laugh right there, because you saw Movie, as soon as he saw the SCV, instantly pulled a probe to his gas. He did not want to get gas stolen himself. Of course, JYJ did not go for that. He's going to make sure that he busts down that assimilar in his main and get gas going himself. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Meanwhile, first Zealot is walking across the map. There's 2 Marines already out, so 3rd and 4th should be coming out pretty soon. I don't think this Zealot is going to have much success.
Yeah, I don't think movie is optimizing really well here. And JYG is not even putting down the bunker yet, because he knows none of the Zealot was out on the map. He knows 3 Marine can handle this Zealot, but if Zealot is standing on the high ground, JYG needs to be careful, because those can miss the Marine shot on the Zealot, but Zealot will just run away from this Marine. But JYJ is making more Marine than we thought. Okay, we see a couple of SCB moving down to the natural. Is he just transferring or going for the cheese?
Yeah, he is just transferring. And if there was no second Zealot, I would be a little bit worried for Movie, because that Zealot lost all of its shields, and we had 5 Marines moving across the map. But with the second Zealot supporting the first one, he's not in danger of losing any probes at his natural. Back in the main of Movie, I didn't see any major... Okay, he's still continuing to push with this.
And he's showing all those confidence.
Oh my gosh.
That he can actually go for the pressure, because none of the...
Oh, he gets into the sweet spot!
Okay, these Marine will sacrifice and picking up 2 probes, and also Movie is losing the mining time, and these Marine is just having fun time here. 1 more probe, never mind.
Well, that is a lot of Marines to lose, and even though he lost 2 probes there, I'm not sure if that's exactly worth, because now of course he's going to have to rebuild a couple Marines to make sure he doesn't die to a counterattack, because he has no defense right now. Meanwhile, Movie's robotics is already done, so we're probably going to see Reaver come out.
So another SCB will be going towards the 12 o'clock side. I guess he wants to confirm how many Dragoons that Movie will be making, and also check how fast the 3rd expansion is. Okay, he's going to be checking any kinds of a proxy robo at the 12 o'clock side. So he's being so secured here. And Movie is just staying on a 1 gate, 1 robo, and pretty much nothing. And Movie is also aware about any kinds of a proxy factory, and checking whether there's any proxy factory at the 5 or 12 o'clock side. So both of the players pretty much playing safe.
Yeah, I think that's smart from both players to make sure that they don't lose to any type of gimmick play. We do see that the support bay is almost done, so this is going to be a Reaver follow-up. It's not going to be just an observer. Meanwhile, JYJ has his double factory. That is a pretty darn fast armory, something like a 510 armory. So JYJ really going for the heavy upgrade style. Meanwhile, eBay almost done, so he's going to have turrets up in time. And SV comes in here, sees not much.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that gun was almost getting killed by the 3 Marine with the single siege tank. And we see this is going to be super fast armory. Upgrade +1 already started for JYJ, and interestingly, he didn't go for 2 machine shop. He has gone for only single machine shop and made a single tank with a single vulture and sneaked out with the vulture spider mine upgrade. It's done. But he doesn't know whether Movie is gonna go for Reaver opening, but he should be realizing this is going to any kinds of 2-base style. Maybe it can be an Arbiter, or maybe it can be a Reaver opening, because we can see Movie is still not taking the 3rd expansion yet.
Yeah, Vulture killed that probe going to build the 3rd base, but as you mentioned, it was a little bit slow, so he knows that this is definitely some type of tech opener. We see that it is Reaver. And the Vulture does not get to see that Reaver has gone straight through the center. Saw a turret at the command center of JYJ. He's setting up mines in his base too, and there's going to be a turret at the ramp also. So he's pretty safe, and that is a lot of gateways to follow up with. It is 4. Wonder what he wants to do with this.
I honestly do not understand what movie is really doing, because super fast 2-base turn versus 2-base products with the 4 gateway only and no any other tech beside Reaver. JYJ is going to be slowly getting those upgrade advantage and even get the starport maybe probably soon. Okay, I think that's a starport maybe at the national. Yes, so he is preparing for the heavy upgrade style with the 2-base opening. And movie's finally taking the expansion, third expansion at 7 minutes 50 seconds. That is going to be losing a lot of mining time for movie whenever he was able to take it at 6-minute mark.
Yeah, this third base is super late. You would, if you're taking it this late, you're more than likely teching heavy into Arbiter or something, but we know that's not the case. It is just 4 gate. And honestly, Terran is not afraid of this particular. Oh, is it going to be carriers?
This is really weird. Like, I thought, I mean, if he wants to go for carrier, he should have gone for like 2-base carrier or super fast 3-base into a carrier. But we hear a couple of scans going on and spotting those Stargate, double Stargate with the fleet beacon on time. So JYJ knows what's coming. I would like to see what kind of opening he will be doing. Whether he's going to be sitting with the 3-base 2-1 upgrade or 2-base timing attack.
Yeah, he scanned perfectly, saw exactly the timing of the fleet beacon. And we know that his starport and science facility is already done. So I imagine this is going to be the 2-1 timing. I have yet to see a command center come down from JYJ. So I wonder if we're going to see something like the 7-fact timing that we saw Flash do a couple years ago. For now, he's sitting on 4 factories.
Yeah, I don't see...
He's making some out of the starport. Is he going for a drop? Okay, he's going to start going for some fantasy-style drop play.
I'm not sure whether this dropship is actually worth it. Oh, the observer almost got into the turret detector range and getting hit by the bunker. That was funny.
Yeah, I also don't know about this dropship. It's 100 gas. You know, it's not the most expensive unit to build, but at the same time, you know this guy's going for carriers. So you want to get in this guy's face ASAP with the big push. Now, of course, if the vultures get into the main, which they might, because I'm looking at the bottom side of the map. Oh no, is he going to find the dropship at bottom right?
Okay, he hit the vulture, so that's a little bit of a mistake.
Oh my
for
gosh.
Movie, but I think dropship will still get picked off. But those 3 guns were out of place, so I think JYJ is going to be taking as a potential chance that he can maybe move out here.
Yeah, he is starting to move out, but Movie's building up that gateway count. I'm assuming he has a Citadel, but I haven't seen it just yet. He needs to just start pumping out pure units at this point, because still, JYJ, no command center. It is going to be like a 5 or 6 fact push from JYJ, and it's going to be super strong with his 2-1 upgrades. But he's not going to have, well, it's 7 fact, but he's not going to have that 3rd base econ going for him.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Like, he's not actually pressuring Movie yet. Movie's just playing completely safe here and not getting much of a pressure here. But 2 Goliath with the Goliath range will be attacking the shuttle, but the Reaver needs to be careful. Oh, I see. So he's pretending that he's moving out, so vultures will be running towards to the 3rd base here, and Guns really has to retreat and stepping on the spider mines and eating up those spider mine damage.
Yeah, now these vultures can flat out kill these goons. He picks off 1 of them, he picks off 2 of them, he's going to kill a 3rd one maybe. That's a lot of damage done with just a handful of vultures. Supplies are still in favor of Movie though, but I'm looking at the upgrades. He has no ground upgrades and Forge is not spinning, and that is a big loss for Protoss. You really, really want to be at least +1 versus Terran when they're at 2-1. Meanwhile, first couple carriers are out, but it's just 2.
I'm also looking at Movie's vision. He doesn't know JYJ has taken the 3rd expansion, but he's already taken the 4th base for some reason. Normally, when Terran is playing 2 base, you don't really go for 4 base. You kind of like stay on 3 base. squeezing all those money for mass Zealot, mass Gun with the carrier combination, but I honestly don't understand what JYJ is doing. I guess he's struggling what he should be doing.
Yeah, this is a weird scenario, but look at the supply. It's starting to close.
Oh,
Movies only.
no!
Oh, he's gonna find the drops again, man. How does he know? There wasn't even an observer there.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand. I don't know how I should be explaining about this gameplay by JYJ. I thought JYJ is gonna go for the move when he had about like 6, 7, or 8 tank, but he just waited until like 150 supply. But here's once again shuttle comes, didn't unload the Reaver, but this is a high ground advantage for Movie. He does have the Zealot speed, but only 4 carrier. I don't think he does have full interceptors ready.
Yeah, it looked like some of the carriers did not have all their interceptors produced, and now Movie's in a tough spot. Is me attacking uphill without upgrades into a Terran that already has 2-1. But the Goliath count is not exactly the highest right now. Maybe it's what, like 10? And 4 carriers can beat that if they have enough interceptors, but now the Goliath count is getting a little bit higher. And 2-1, as I've talked about many times, is a massive upgrade. Movie's going for a counter, so this is going to be a base trade scenario.
Oh my god, so that's just definitely a lot of army just came at JYJ's natural. But Movie will be giving up his natural at the same time as well, but that 2-1 upgrade is actually paying off here and eating up all those Zealot and Gun really well here. But at the same time, those 4 carriers in the middle of the map is not actually doing anything. I think Movie is also struggling and what kind of decision making he really needs to do. And how the hell Movie just lost those supply count? Did he just lose like 2 groups of a probe at the natural and not pulling back at all?
Well, he didn't pull back his probes, and he just ate a ton of mines with his ground army. Oh, he's going to get his carriers intercepted. That's 1 down. And the second one may fall. It's super low. He's going to lose this base also. There's just not critical mass carriers right now. The 2-1 upgrades are too powerful. He's going to lose his 4th base. He's going to lose his 3rd base. And all of a sudden, Movie's going to be reset down, potentially down to 1 base.
Yeah, these 3 tank just pretty much killing a lot of probe there. But here is a couple of ground army reinforcement, but 2-1 upgrade is just pretty much so strong. Picking up the interceptors, I think just by looking at the strategy how Movie was doing, he was doing completely fine, but the decision making was super poor.
Yeah, the strategy is fine, but as you mentioned, the optimizations were a little bit off. The 4 gate before the 3rd base, and then the carriers were late, and then no forge upgrades. And you can see what happens when you don't have an optimized build versus a top tier Terran player. They're just going to pick you apart. Vultures are in the natural, killing everything now. Carriers are, as I mentioned, just not critical mass. There's just not enough to stop this overwhelming amount of Goliaths. And this is going to be JYJ taking this game. He's up almost 100 supply now.
I'm shocked that Movie is just already down to 66 supply and pretty much 1 base mining, and we can see JYJ's main base is completely mined out as well. Finally putting out the 3rd command center, but he knows JYJ has the lead in this game. These carriers pretty much cannot do anything.
Yeah, it's shocking because Movie had like a maxed out army versus a Terran player, which is 170, and he goes for a base trade scenario, and then all of a sudden I look at the supply, and it's 120 for Movie, but still 160 for JYJ. So great defense from JYJ, of course, and this just did not pan out for Movie. GG. He unfortunately is going to be sent down to the losers bracket, but he looked pretty. Looked like he was in a pretty okay spot until the counterattack happened.
Yeah, so that was a really off play by Movie, I should say, and JYJ was able to win this game even though he was somewhat doing 2 base 2-1 upgrade timing. I think it's kind of like a semi all-in because he didn't have any 3rd command center was starting. Not anytime soon at that time, so I guess JYJ decision making was great there for going for the base trade and not chasing move his army all the way back to his home. That was a good play there. And JYJ is going to be moving into winner's bracket.
Yep, so nicely done from him. Right now, I'm just waiting to see if we're going to get debated with a Hot 6 commercial or if we're actually going into a real break. But our winner's match is going to be JYJ versus Snow. I think we are going into a real break, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, guys, we're back. Time to find out who's going to make it out of Group C in first place. We see that JYJ has banned Lemon, and then Snow actually the one to ban Revolver. So our map is going to be Ascension. We've seen a lot of good games on this particular map. I really love this map. And I always love to see Snow versus Terran because he has that super ultra deadly Reaver play. And then if the Terran actually survives, he can end up going into that late game carrier play that he's also deadly with. So what do you think about Snow's chances of making it out of first place?
We have seen JYG's wildcard against Best 1 month ago, I believe, and he was doing Proxy starport against Protoss, against Best on Ascension, and I think Best was doing was it a 12 Nexus or Zealot into expansion? But I think Snow might be aware about JYJ's some kind of like a dropship opener, and maybe prepare for that one. But I guess we'll be moving to game number 3 here.
Game 3, let's get into it. It's going to be Ascension. Winner's going to move into the round of 16. Loser's going to be waiting in the Deciders match. Right, in the top middle in the blue, our Terran player. Looking to be the first Terran player into the round of 16. It is JYJ. Meanwhile, in the bottom right, our Protoss superstar. It is Snow. And yeah, this map, as soon as I see it, I instantly start thinking about drop potential because it's got huge mains. Just like Blue Storm, just like Tau Cross. I actually think this is the blue version of Tau Cross, not the 3-player version of Blue Storm. Uh-oh.
Did stream die? I'm still connected on Discord, right?
Yeah, you're connected.
Okay, I just refreshed the video. It's working back. I think there was a little bit of a connection problem on Africa Studio with us. We're back in the game and we see JYJ. I think he messed up in the beginning with the splitting up his worker. We can see his building timing somewhat off when I look at it. His depot starts at 56 seconds, almost 57 seconds. So I guess he messed up with the worker split in the beginning because we saw our very beginning of the game from players cam. He wasn't happy on his face, but JYJ is sending out the SCB super fast again, just like Eclipse. But this time he's not going to be intercepting any kinds of early scout probe here. We'll be going for forward barracks. Okay,
so we do have somewhat proxied barracks. We see that Snow's not going for a 12 Nexus here. What's the intention of this Rax? Is it just to counter 12 Nexus play? I mean, it's not even an 8 Rax. It's a standard Rax opener, except it's forward.
I started to notice this build is somewhat becoming popular for Terran, like going for forward barracks. And if Protoss ever goes for 12 Nexus, since the forward barracks is so almost like in the middle of the map, they can get the Marine out so fast and arrive as Protoss second base. And I guess Snow is also aware of those proxy barracks in early game, and he's not going to be going for 12 Nexus here. And yes, JYJ needs to keep his pace on back.
Yeah, and I think Snow ended up building a Zealot, so already this opener should be shut down. Does that? Oh my gosh!
Oh,
he passed. Yeah, he passed up there to make sure that there's nothing there, and he sees it. And I was gonna say, you guys watching this opener from JYJ and thinking you could pull it out on the ladder, I would not recommend it because this feels like an opener that just insta loses to Zealot pressure, and you know ladder players love to go for Zealot pressure. Now that Zealot is in an interesting position. It's hiding to the right side of the natural.
JYJ is thinking Snow is at 7 o'clock side. He's sending all of his Marine towards to the 7 o'clock side, and the first Zealot is already out on the map in the middle. We're already walking towards the JYJ's base, and JYJ, I think he really needs to retreat all of his unit in order to stop the first Zealot. And here's the second gun just now came out. And if those first Zala with the gun do the combo attack before the bunker finishes, this is going to be a big trouble for JYJ.
Well, there's no bunker at all. So,
Oh, no.
is he just dead? The Zealot makes the Marine so low it's going to get one-shotted by this goon. And there's going to be a Zealot attacking the SCV line.
I think this is completely dead because we know Snow is the type of player
Pro's gonna get
who likes to do one gun, one probe harassment all the time, but with this one
Oh!
Zealot and Vulture is getting... Oh no. I think this is dead.
Yeah, this is a disaster opener, and he's going to lose multiple SCVs, lost all of his Marines. Remember, his Rax is proxied also, so the Marine has to walk halfway across the map just to get together with his SCVs, and there was a Marine all the way at the bottom left. I think Snow just wins here, and back in his main, we can see that some type of building is going up. This could be like a DT follow-up.
Yeah, I guess he's not interested of going for expansion here because he knows he's super ahead with this one Zealot, one gun pressure here. Okay, one gun will go down. He will be sniping all the submarine and the Vulture. And I think JYJ will be able to finish the bunker on time. But that Dragoon is just pretty much blocking the battle. Third gun just came. None of the Marine will get inside of a bunker here.
Yeah, he can just camp the racks. Nothing can ever get in. You can see that JYJ's hiding a Marine in the back. And, okay, I don't know why I said Snow might be going DT, because he is definitely not a DT guy. That is a Robo on one base. He wants to end this game with a Reaver drop. And the Marine was spotted!
Ooh, Marine. And he's also blocking the path.
Oh my gosh. He's crazy, man. He's just absolutely nuts with his micro. And Snow makes it look so easy. He's going to make it out in first place. And JYJ, it's an interesting build, but I can't believe he didn't scout the main with that SCV.
Yeah, I guess he was pretty much expecting Snow will be going for the 12 Nexus most likely, but it was just completely off, and JYJ misled the information of checking at the 5 o'clock natural instead of going for all the way inside, and those Marine were just pretty much out of place and couldn't stop that 1-1 gun pressure.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Marine was all the way at bottom left. It seemed like JYJ didn't realize it either. I don't think that would have saved the game, but definitely would have helped. But that's going to be Snow moving out of the group in first place, so congrats to him. But JYJ, he's still got a chance to make it out. He's going to be waiting in the Deciders match. We're going to see who's going to face him, because our losers match is going to be Hyuk versus Movie. That should be a good matchup. We saw Hyuk play extremely well versus Snow until the DT hit. And Movie, he played pretty okay versus JYJ, but based on what I saw from Hyuk, I think he's in a little bit of trouble. But before we get into that, let's get into our interview with our winner.
So we are watching ASL Season 12 Round of 24 Group C. The first player who is going to be advancing into round of 16, it is going to be Snow. Congratulations, Snow. And you said on the interview, you said you don't have much of a confidence that because you were losing a lot on online practice games, but you were lying to us. You were showing great performance and all those mind game as well, and you are absolutely
두 번째
beast in
판은
this
이제
offline
처음에
stage.
원래 제가 저걸 하려던 게 아니었거든요. 근데
네.
연습하면서 계속 지다가 이제 지성이한테 제가
So Snow is saying
바꾸라고 하더라고요.
he was doing
바꿨는데
some
결과적으로
strategy.
그것 때문에 이긴 것 같아요.
Well, he was doing some strategy against Royal, and he lost to Royal multiple times with that one strategy, and asked Royal on personal, asking him whether the strategy was good or bad, and Royal told him or gave him an advice that the build order or the strategy that he was doing is completely bad. So he decided to change the playstyle, and it really worked well on the offline stage
다시 한번
against
16강에
Terran.
올라가면서 조지명식으로 향하는 장윤철 선수입니다. 1티어
And
선수가
now
16강에 오른 게 좀 오랜만이라 굉장히 좀 즐거워하실 것 같아요, 팬분들이. 또 다른
We didn't get to see tier 1 player make it into round of 16
일단
until
방송에서도
today.
제가 진다고
You are the
생각하고
tier 1
있었는데
player
결과적으로
in this
잘
ASL
올라갔기
Season
때문에
12, and you
가서
made it
이제
into round of
좀
16. How are you gonna do
잘했다고
your group
칭찬받아야죠.
nomination?
연습하면서 좀 잃었던
I guess he's
자신감을
gonna
오늘
be.
경기를 통해서 오히려 좀
He wants to
회복하시지
hear some
않았을까
compliment
싶은데요.
from other
그건
players.
아니고요.
Since
이게,
he's.
이게 자꾸 중후반
We know that
방향을
tier
치더라고요.
1 player is always
이길
going to be
때는
the
초반에
strongest
막
player in this group stage, but
정말 이상한
he
편법
still
써서
wants to
이기고
hear some
질
compliment
때는
from
그냥
other players as well.
쓰러져가지고
Since other tier 1 player has
좀 해가지고
gotten
좀
eliminated by
끌어올려야 될것 같아요.
other tier
그래도
1,
또
tier
장윤철
2,
선수가
tier 3
10번째
players.
시즌을 또 ASL 함께 하고 있기 때문에 그 경험으로 녹여낸 경기력 16강에서 더 단단해진 장윤철 선수를 기대해봐도 좋을 것 같습니다. 16강에 임하는 각오를 끝으로 좀 들어볼까요?
So now you're gonna be moving into round of 16. What kind of mindset will you have in this ASL Season 12? He said he's tired of getting eliminated in quarterfinal all the time. He's not going to have those setup goal. Is going to be making it to semifinal this time, or even climb up higher. Thank you for the interview. We'll be coming back soon after the break.
We are back, guys. Unfortunately, we're going to find out who's going to be the first victim of Group C. We've got Hyuk versus Movie coming up. We see that Revolver was banned by Hyuk, Ascension banned from Movie, and I just don't know how this map gets through Scan. It's going to be Lemon again.
I think Zerg players started to realize what kind of playstyle they should be doing on Lemon. It's some type of a concept map that you cannot really play standard because there are pretty much 2 Vespene Geyser in the main base, but no Vespene Geyser at the natural. So even though you're at 2 base, you still have this 2 gas at the base.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen one game so far, and it was a 4 pool. I don't think I've seen a single VVP yet on this map. And this is with 2 players that Snow says has unique builds, so this should be a very fun matchup. What are your thoughts on ZVP here? Like, is there a race that just has no chance on this map?
I feel like since Hyuk really likes to go for Massive Hydra, once his 3 base is completely saturated, maybe he's just gonna be taking that 4th gas super fast. You know that 12, 3, 6, 9 have 2 Vesping Geyser you can take with the 1 base. And so, you know how Zerg always start with the 3 base all the time. So he starts with the 3 base start, and once those bases are completely saturated, maybe 4 gas masked lurker containing movie when movie is stuck at 2 base. Like how Snow was struggling, was not able to take the 3rd expansion for quite a long time. Maybe it could be the strategy, like making masked lurker.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of players say that that's a great play versus Protoss and super hard for Protoss to actually pull out a victory on this map. So we'll see if Hyuk can make it happen, or maybe we're going to get a JYJ versus Movie rematch in the Deciders match. Let's find out who's going to be our first eliminated from Group C. Is it Hyuk or is it Movie? So in the top right, in the blue, our Zerg player, it is Hyuk. And in the bottom left, in the red, our Protoss player, it is Movie.
It's a cross spawn location, and like I said, previous group in a group B. Even though this is a 4-player map, but once the locations are decided, it becomes a 2-player map. You cannot take the other spawning location because there's a big giant crystal blocking the path, not letting you to build any kinds of additional base there. So we see this is going to be very far rush distance. I'm not sure whether the lurker contain will work in this type of scenario, but we see Movie is going to go for Pylon Scout.
It's going to be a quick scout from Movie. That means that this is more than likely going to be a Forge expand. He's not going to find Hyuk at bottom right, but he is more than likely going to find him at the 2nd position at top right. As you mentioned, there's double gas here, so this is an interesting map for a bunch of shenanigans, potentially. The natural, no gas though, so we'll see how players want to use this. Now, okay, is this going to be 12 Nexus? No, it's going to be a Forge from Movie.
And 11 hatchery by Hyuk. Interesting. And I think Hyuk spotted the probe at the 3 o'clock side, and he should be knowing whether this is going to be no, I think the gateway scout is going to be super faster than that, so I think he should be realizing this is going to be a cross-pylon location. But I think he still wants to confirm whether there's any pylon or building at the 5 o'clock nat.
Well, drone gets off a couple of hits. And Movie's got to be careful. Remember, in the game versus JYJ, he already lost his probe there. Definitely don't want to lose a probe versus Zerg, because Zerg Protoss players in the dark versus Zerg, they have so many options. You're in a real tough spot if that happens. Meanwhile, he is going to go for that Nexus before Cannon and Hyuk. It looks like he's going to be taking that mineral only at top left. Maybe?
I'm not sure. I think he should know he cannot make a hatchery at the 11 o'clock side because there's a giant crystal. Or did he not practice? Or is he?
Well, he didn't veto it, so you're gonna hope that he did.
Okay, so I think I might know because he just want to make sure whether Movie is located at 11 o'clock side and maybe doing some kind of weird one base playstyle, because there are a bunch of mineral fields at the main base, so you can still do one base playstyle for Protoss and Terran as well. So Hyuk is just, I think Hyuk is not interested of taking 3rd expansion.
Yeah, we see that a 3rd hatch went in his main, actually. So that's an interesting placement of that 3rd hatchery. Meanwhile, we get a glimpse at the center of the map. Just like Fighting Spirit, it's got double gases there. So if anybody has super control of the mid game, they can get a lot of gas econ taking that base. Meanwhile, nice Ling on hold position at the natural, going to deny entry into the main, and that is a Hydra Den before Lair.
Interesting. This is a cross-spawn location, and I don't think these Hydraless will do any kinds of damage, and I'm not sure why movie wasn't clicked the mineral. Because you can see the mineral on the high ground. You can actually see from the low ground, and if you click the mineral, those probe will actually pass through the ramp and climb up and see what Hyuk is doing. But I guess movie is not understanding the map really well here, and he didn't get all those intel. And already putting down the second gas already, but what kind of tech is he building? Okay, Stargate follow-up.
Yep, Stargate follow-up for movie. Everything here looks pretty normal. Second gas is sort of fast. You see more Protoss players go into heavier mineral income before getting their second gas these days. First Zealot moving across the map, it gets intercepted by an Overlord instantly. So probably not going to get much damage done. Yeah, he's just going to turn around for now.
Maybe he just wants to do a couple of Hydraless pressure into taking mass expansion.
Yeah, well, the mid base has double gas also, so he could go into Hydras and then go Lair and then maybe go into like a mass muta switch. I mean, he'll have 4 gases available. Meanwhile, we also get to see the center of the map scout with the probe and see that it's similar to Whiteout, where there's not a lot of vision coming through the center of the map. So he's got to be extra careful to not lose it.
Yeah, I think Hyuk does have enough money to put down the hatchery, but he's still not yet. And I think he's trying to cut that probe scout as much as he can, or deny the scout as much as he can. Finally sending out a couple of Hydraless, and movie is also aware of the timing, because the Zergling should be have those Zergling speed right now, but he doesn't, and now he gets to see there are Hydraless are coming, building more cannon.
Movie might be in trouble. Second cannon, I think, should complete, but how committed is Hyuk to this attack? We see that the 4th hatch is going down.
Ooh.
Oh, that cannon! It's just barely out of range of those Hydras, so it's not going to fall. And movie is going to hold this.
Yeah, I think Hyuk is just gonna be doing small pressure with maybe 8-9 Hydraless here, and picking up the gateway, and even maybe Forge. If he gets the Forge, movie is going to be in a big trouble, because you always want to be ahead of upgrade against Zerg, and if your upgrade is behind against Zerg, or maybe even upgrade, you are behind.
Yeah, well, generally Protoss players completing that +1 upgrade somewhere between 7 minutes and 7:30, and we're already, the Forge is already almost, oh, I think he canceled it. Yeah, he did cancel it, and that means that's a powerful upgrade that's going to be denied. And behind this, instantly goes into double Forge, and he's going into potentially mass gateways behind this. He's already got 4 going down.
I like this. I like how he decided to go for a double Forge here, because he knows with the single Forge upgrade is going to be taking forever. With the +1 attack, with the +2 armor, that will take forever, and we see Hyuk is already putting down another hatchery at the 12 o'clock side, pumping up a lot of drone, and Hyuk has a lot of time for macro and saturation here, and whenever Hyuk has enough drone, I think he's just gonna be powering up all those mass Hydra once again. Another hatchery going down.
Yep, 6 hatch from Hyuk. I didn't see an evolution chamber, but those double upgrades are going to let movie catch up pretty quickly. He should still have that 1-1 power spike at around the 10-minute mark. Meanwhile, Lair has started for Hyuk too. There's the evolution chamber at the natural, so he's going to be matching at least one of the upgrades coming in from movie. For now, he's going to have to back off though, because movie has about 7 zealots moving across the map.
We also see movie has 1,000 Vespene gas and not spending those gas yet. He does have the Templar Archive, it's probably done by now, and spending all those Vespene gas for double Forge upgrade and maybe a couple of high Templars to Storm upgrade as well, and putting down more gateway and Spire Tech.
Yep, I think we're going to see 8 gate coming down from movie. It's not enough zealots to get past these Hydralists. He's going to have to back off, and it is 6 hatch for Hyuk, as we mentioned. He hasn't taken any of the gases at his third base though, and look at that drone, not mining at all.
Yeah, that drone is not mining the second gas. he really needs that Vespin gas for a Muta switch, even if he ever wants to go for Muta switch here. But one sunken with a couple of Hydralisks standing right next to the hatchery. Just pretty much have good some barricade, not letting those out to attack. And finally, 4 High Templars are out on the map. And look at those Vespin gas right now Hyuk has. And still forgetting about this drone, not mining the second gas. I think Hyuk totally not looking at his base. Or maybe he will now with the Ovalers, with the Corsair showing at the main.
Looks like he did not see it. That's a bit unfortunate because that's a lot of lost gas for Hyuk. We see that Hyuk is still floating. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I guess this is not our internet connection problem. This is something Africa Studio has some connection problem. Okay, we are back into the game. We just refreshed.
What I was going to say is Hyuk had a lot of gas, and I was wondering if the replay was kind of busted because it's not normal you see Zerg players float 1,000 gas on just 2 bases, especially with one of the drones not mining. But now we saw that all 1,000 of that gas has been spent, and that's going to be a lot of Mutalisks popping out all at once. Meanwhile, we saw a Dark Archon was morphed for Movie, and that is triple upgrades coming in for our Zerg player.
Wow. This is going to be a crazy late game opening we're going to be seeing. But if Hyuk is not... I guess Hyuk doesn't have much of a chance to contain Movie at the moment. Because if Movie is not getting contained by Hyuk, he can easily take that 6 o'clock expansion, and Movie also has the access to have 4 gas also. And remember how crazy those double forge upgrade is for Protoss all the time, and we saw how Snow was doing as well. And Movie with the double forge upgrade plus 4 gas, that is going to be mass high Templar he will be making soon.
Yeah, and he can sit on high ground at the third base. So he's going to have storms for days. You can't see him coming. This would be an amazing position for Movie if he can get this base up and running. However, I'm looking at the map, and it just feels like you've got to travel so far if you want to get a 4th base, whether it's mid-left or the mineral only at bottom right. And I don't know if you really want to go bottom right because you're expanding towards Zerg at that point. But still, Protoss on 3 bases with 4 gas can be super powerful. These Mutas have already done a lot of damage, killing a lot of... Oh, there he gets it! He's going to Storm and Maelstrom combo all of these Mutas. Goodbye!
Yeah, we can see from Hyuk's player cam, he is knocking, or I guess is shaking his head a little there. Pumping out a couple of Zergling and transferring the drone as well, but... with this army composition, I'm not sure whether Hyuk is going to be winning because 2 to upgrade already started for Movie, and Movie does have enough army to fight against these Mass Hydra. He does have a lot of Gun, High Templars, and this army is looking scary in my opinion.
Yeah, and he's got the 1/1 upgrades because of his double forge. +2 should be kicking in at around 13 minutes if he hit them exactly when they finish. So that will be a power spike coming in the next minute or so. And Hyuk's going to be careful because he's down 30 supply. As you mentioned, Movie had built a lot of Templars. I only see 3 right there, so I wonder where the rest are. But this is a powerful army.
Yeah, look at that drone count. Like, Hyuk has a lot of drone, but you don't see much of an army. And Hyuk is right now making it. He does have... wow, those 4 High Templar has a lot of energy. Just pretty much just killing all the Hydralisks. And now even pulling drones. Drones are not SCV. They are not good against fighting any army with this drone. But blocking the path does help a little. Not letting those goons to climb up. Oh.
This feels like a lot of my Zerg versus Protoss games when I play Zerg. You just start snowballing as the Protoss player, and it's 130 to 80 supply, and Hyuk just doesn't have critical mass of anything. He doesn't have hives, so he doesn't have any of the powerful upgrades either. So mid-right's going to fall, and all of a sudden we've got doubling supply for Movie.
This is the worst scenario we can be watching. Like, Protoss has the access to take the 4th gas as well from 3rd base, but Movie is not taking yet because Movie doesn't feel much of pressure. He knows he's winning here, and he just pretty much I guess he'll be focusing on the micro battle, and we can see 2 to upgrade is already done for Movie. This Zealot is just looking so strong. I don't know how these Hydralisks will be fighting against these Zealots.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zerg has +2 weapon, but the 2-2... Oh, he doesn't. He has +1, and that's it! Hyuk taps out, and Hyuk, who looked so good versus Snow in the first game, gets picked apart by Movie. As you stated, that was a lot of drones from Hyuk. However, you gotta have some actual army to deal with Movie's army, and he just didn't. Kind of, again, the one downfall for Hyuk this time was a single Dark Archon catches all of his Mutalisks, and I think he was really banking on the Mutalisks to buy him time to get his 4th base up, and that just was not the case.
I feel like those Mutalisks should not be looking for sniping the High Templar, like where any High Templars were out of place. Maybe, I mean, he knew Movie doesn't have much of a Corsair out on the map, so I think those Mutalisks should have gone for the main base, and I think main base was completely vulnerable, like maybe only a single cannon there, and 11 Mutalisks will be immediately taking down the one cannon at the base, and they're all like 15, 20 mineral fields at the main base. With the 11 Mutalisks harassing at the main base, that would have been a critical damage at Movie's main base, but that decision making was very poor.
Yep, well, we're going to be going into our last game of the day. We're going to find out who's going to make it out in second place. It's a rematch, JYJ versus Movie. Oh, there we go. Of course.
Hot 6.
We can't have a cast without some hot 6. Oh, that's a new color, green.
Or teal.
Yeah, teal.
I would like to try that. What does it say? The King Rush?
The King Rush.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's a new one, because what happened to the black one? It's just gone now.
I guess the black one's like the least favored by people. Not much of people were buying the black color one. I guess that could be the reason. They made a new flavor into this Hot 6 and add another one, the King Rush. Ooh.
I'm just waiting to see Into the Rain start chugging it like he usually does.
Yeah,
He's always excited.
He usually spills all those Hot 6 on his face too, and his nice looking suit as well.
Well, our last game of the day is going to be a JYJ versus Movie rematch. What do you think Movie needs to do in this game so that he can actually take down JYJ this time around?
Decider match, the maps are Polypoid, Goodnight, and Largo. And I think all of the maps are pretty much good for Protoss, most likely, because I mean they're just pretty much just like circuit breakers, a lot of expansion that everyone can take. And Largo, we saw the third expansion, the middle expansion, was so vulnerable for Terran, like it was so wide open and also high ground advantage whenever Protoss is diving in. But before that, we're gonna be seeing those casters drinking some Hot 6.
Of course, the mid-caster gets the new flavor. Damn, Into the Rain, he's already drank all of it. Look at him.
Okay,
It's gone.
Okay, this time he didn't. This time he didn't spill any of a Hot 6 on his suit. Maybe he got some warning by the Africa staffs.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, you can't keep ruining our suits. I've noticed that they're new suits this time around. Season it was like white and yellow, right?
Oh yes.
Now they've got darker colors. It's probably because it's harder to see the stains, maybe. All right, guys, we're going to be going into commercial, and then we'll find out if Movie's got what it takes to get revenge versus JYJ. Final game of the day, guys. We see that a double Largo ban coming out from JYJ and Movie. That means that our map is going to be Polypoid, so a map that everybody has a lot of experience on, a big-time macro map. I'm sure we're going to see a much better showing from Movie this time around, now that he'll easily be able to get up tons of bases. We saw that he was not able to make the carriers work out in the first game on Eclipse versus JYJ, but with a little bit better optimization, I think he'll have better success here versus JYJ on Polypoid.
Yeah, JYJ has been doing forward barracks. I guess he wanted to do the forward barracks as well on Eclipse, but the early probe scout pretty much stopped him from doing the early forward barracks. I guess since they're going to be playing on a Polypoid, most likely going to be skill-based play, because both of the players has a lot of experience playing on a Polypoid, because the Polypoid is pretty much on a ladder map pool as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know that for sure. Both players have thousands of games played on this map. Oh,
Buffered again.
looks like we're going to have a slight buffer.
And guys, this is not our internet connection problem. We are still on a live stream. We have a little bit of trouble getting the clean feed from Africa Studio, and it's still buffering for us. We don't have the access to watch yet. Is it working for you?
I'm trying to load it, and I'm
back.
Okay. All right, so in the top, in the top left, we have our red Protoss. It's Movie. And of course, in the top right, our blue Terran. Already taking game 1 versus Movie. It is JYJ. So we've got horizontal spawns here. What do you think about these positions for either side?
I think both of the players will have some, I guess, a good location for each other, because Terran can also do the mineral boost for the very top one, and for Protoss as well, for the left side. People may think there's no any of a mineral boost for the left side, but only Protoss has the mineral boost for the left side. Which one is the bottom one? The last one. Though that one has a mineral boost. But if you look at Movie's main base, you can see that probe is bouncing off from the Nexus when it return cargo the mineral. And JYJ once again forward barracks, but this time at the natural.
Yep, it is going to be a gasless expand from JYJ. Now, if he gets scouted first, he may transition it into something that a lot of Terran players do, is they'll go into like a 14 or 15 gas. But we do not see Movie going for a quick scout, so more than likely this is just going to be a standard gasless opener. Meanwhile, unfortunately for you Terran players, JYJ is going to not scout Movie first. He's going to bottom right scout. We'll see if he's going to go for that in scout and potentially find Movie second.
My clean feed stopped working. How about you?
Reload it.
Sorry for this problem, guys. We have some trouble getting the clean feed from Africa Studio. This is not our internet fault. We're trying to get this.
Yep, mine works.
Our clean feed work. Still
Does
not
yours
working for me. Still buffering for me. Just in case, I'll just open up the mainstream platform. It's still not working for me. Oh, okay, I got my mine back on.
Okay. It's weird. Yours worked now, and now mine doesn't work.
Oh, yours doesn't work?
Yeah. All right. So we did see that JYJ. Wow.
Oh, it just crashed again for me. Maybe.
What I was gonna say, it was JYJ did not in scout.
Yeah.
So he does find Movie last.
I'm not sure what's going on with the clean feed. We have some trouble here. I guess I'll just open up this mainstream platform. Sorry for this connection problem with the Africa studio. This is not our internet fault. We'll be just watching here for now. So the first gun will be chasing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this is a one base opening by Movie going for super fast robotic facility. Interesting.
Yeah, well, you know Artosis is going to love this game when he sees this. One base Reaver opener from Movie. Typically this is something you see in the B ranks, but Movie a little bit higher than B ranks. So I'm surprised to see this. I mean, it's not even proxied either. A lot of players, when they scout gasless, end up like building proxy robo on the high ground, for example, here. But it is just in the main. But it still is going to be devastating because that factory just started the add-on. There's no tanks.
Yeah, I like how JYJ still got the super fast eBay of 5. Oh yeah, the eBay is already at 5-minute mark. He's already building the missile turret and also floating the eBay all the way to 12 o'clock site, and he knows there's no expansion at the natural.
Yeah.
Okay, he now sees.
Yeah, but he has one tank. Okay, it looks like he'll probably get out a second tank in time. So I think JYJ is going to be in an okay position, but still Movie's got that powerful Reaver. Oh, he's just going to go for the Nat?
I guess this is going to be going for the bus, but I like how JYJ got the second bunker on time. But these Vulture is not doing great job here. The Siege tank is doing some.
He's got range. No, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have range. He doesn't have range. He can't hit the tank. The Reaver, did it die?
Oh, yeah, I don't think the Reaver died, but the tank is now completely saved. None of the Siege tank died. So I guess that was not a good trade for Movie in my opinion, because Movie doesn't have the second base. And JYJ still has a supply lead here, and we know he has second command center already, so he can pretty much pump up those SCV count, those workers that he lost. Nice scarab shot.
Did you see that follow-up scan of Citadel coming down for Movie? So we may see a DT drop or some type of like Reaver DT drop combo.
I remember this game. I remember this kind of game scenario. Like, I played against Movie in Chinese tournament. An offline stage, he did Reaver opening into DT drop. It's like I guess it's one of his play style that he kind of likes to do, with the Reaver into DT drop and then Arbiter follow up. I think that's what we are seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very strong follow-up because you're not expecting the DT, and I mean, JYJ already has turrets. If he gets the comsat, he's probably going to instantly use it to figure out what Movie's doing. Here comes that shuttle again. The Reaver is pretty low. There is a goon in there also, so it can at least soak up a hit. But we've got JYJ with Vultures in position denying that third base. Again, he still doesn't know what the follow-up is because Movie hasn't shown him anything.
This floating barracks is showing the vision, and shuttle needs to be careful, taking 4 missile turret shot, 30 HP remaining. And earlier we saw JYJ has the armory at the main base. He got Corsair spinning. Is he finally getting the range upgrade now? That's a super late gun range.
Yeah, he started it like a minute ago, so I think that is range. I don't think it's +1 weapon or anything like that. Third factory coming down for JYJ. Still no comsat, so he's still in the dark. And if you look at what the actual defense for Movie is, it's like 2 goons and a Reaver. It's just non-existent right now. There's the Arbiter Tribunal that you were talking about, so it is going to be a 2-base follow-up.
I guess he's not interested in going for DT drop here because he was not able to do much of a Reaver harassment. But the Arbiter tech is still fast, relatively fast.
Yeah, this is still going to be a fast 2-base Arbiter play that you're talking about, but at the same time, JYJ's Econ really was not hindered that much. You see that the Reaver has 12 kills, but a lot of them were in the Marines that it got. Sure, it got a decent chunk of SCVs, but being on gasless, on a gasless opener versus somebody that delayed their Nexus so long, he still has a ton of SCVs. And we've got another 4th fact. I think once this comsat goes down, or scan goes down, probably going to see like a 5, 6, 7 fact follow-up and try and just push Movie before he actually has an army.
Nice one, scanner at the movie's main base and confirmed the Arbiter attack. Also scanning once again at the third expansion. Oh, Starport is already finished, so he is preparing for 2-1 upgrade once again. But this Vulture is constantly getting picked up by the Scarab, Reaver Scarab shot here. Gotta be careful there.
Yep, and we're okay. That is science facility, so he's going to go into the 2-1. There's the second armory. Still no command center yet. Still no decision on whether he's going to flood factories or not. But again, JYJ with great mine positioning behind the Reaver and Goon, and looks like JYJ is already trying to move out.
Yeah, I think JYJ is somewhat have some prediction. Couple of army will be standing at the mineral expansion as well, so he is pretty. I guess if those goons like normally, okay, so here's what I wanted to say. Normally you have like 6 to 8 goons standing at the mineral expansion and try to deny like JYJ's army moving out from the natural. And he wanted to trap those army, putting down this couple of spider mines in the middle of the map and try to sandwich from that, all those army from the back and front line. But movie just had only one Reaver and one gun, but he lost his this Arbiter.
Well, as long as JYJ has hands, God, that was a big hit. Kills 3 out of the 7 goons. I think this game's just done. There's just no units from movie right now. But if he doesn't have stand, that's all.
I think he's out of energy. Okay, he does have one scanner, one comms station energy.
This is why it's so dangerous to ever push versus 2-base Arbiter. They can easily blow all your energy, and then you lose your whole army. Now, again, we see some dropship play into the natural while this attack is going. Movie may not see this. Oh, it's going into the main.
Yeah, I think movie saw that dropship was coming. 2 Vulture will be unloaded. Another 2 will be unloading at the main base. But DC's tank is somewhat clumped up. I think if movie is able to, those goons and Zala got trapped by the robotic facility too. Oh, this is such a bad optimization with the SimCity as well. But if Arbiter has enough energy for one great stasis field, this might be able to like stop the army.
Yeah, the tank count is really not that big, but it's got a great spread. Stasis would only hit maximum of 2 tanks at a time. Really looked like movie was going to be able to stasis or going to stasis and bust, but as you mentioned, there's a lot of units trapped by that robo. JYJ continuing to push. The Goliaths are going to kill the Arbiter before stasis gets off. Okay, he stasis the Goliaths, but that's not a big impact right there. And I think, again, movie just doesn't have enough stuff.
Yeah, I guess there's a pony supply lead by JYJ. JYJ, I think he has the confidence because since the Arbiter has gone down. He also made a one science pistol here, so he has the detector unit. So I guess the Arbiter is just pretty much not going to be useful here. Movie's army is just right now stuck at main base, and he needs to do something about this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is the end of movie's run. He now realizes that his goons are stuck. That's 3 of them that were not helping during the fight. Also, there were 2 zealots just sitting at the gateway, so that's 5 units that didn't help at any point in this game. 3rd Nexus falls, and with the 3rd Nexus falling versus a Terran that's about to hit 2-1 on 7 Factory, that's pretty much the nail in the coffin for our Protoss player. And JYJ, he's moments away from ending this game. Here comes movie. This is his last-ditch attempt to try and make something happen. If he can get a Mind Drag on top of the tanks, maybe, but he doesn't find it. Arbiter pops out, but I think it's just too little too late.
Oh, we see 1-1 upgrade is already done for JYJ. That means in next 20 seconds, +2 should be kicking in soon. And I don't think movie has enough energy for any spell for Arbiter. 67, yeah, I think this is going to be taking forever to break this contain.
Yeah, it's basically almost a second per energy, so 30 more seconds movie needs to buy. That's a good Mind Drag if he can pull another one in there, not able to do it. Here he goes again. It's just goons now. Look at them just get bottled up next to each other. Tanks dealing so much damage with that +2 upgrade.
Wait, what happened to Science Vessel? Like, he had the Science Vessel, but we don't...
The goons picked it off.
We saw something going inside of main base. Here is 2 more Vulture will be unloading. Nice spot for the vulture harassment at the main base.
Yeah, movie, he's so close to doing it. There's not that much Terran left, but it's still 115 supply to just 65 now. As you mentioned, those vultures are still alive in the main, ransacking the probe line. I don't think he noticed at all until just now. This is going to be it. Once the cannon's about to fall, and now the natural is exposed. Mines are set up. There's no observer, and that means that the Zealots are going to have to eat up all these mines just to try and save this base. Movie's down to something like 5 probes, 7 probes at the natural, not very many left. Meanwhile, JYJ has taken a 3rd base, and that's a huge reinforcement round.
Yeah, I think this is bad. Movie doesn't have enough energy or enough bank money to fight against this JYJ's massive army containing here, and those army just got defrost. Movie will be typing GG. JYJ is going to be winning this final match.
Yeah, he does take game 2 versus versus Movie, and that means that he is going to move on, and unfortunately our old school player Movie, he's going to be eliminated in the round of 24. He put up a good showing, but as you mentioned earlier, I think the optimizations were just not there. I think if he comes back next season, he'll definitely do a lot better, but JYJ, he's such a beast, and you have to have an optimized build versus someone like him.
Yeah, his Movie is watching his replay. He's not packing up his gears because I guess he wants to see what kind of mistake he has done from the last game. So I guess we'll be having the interview. The second player who will be advancing into round of 16. That is going to be JYJ. And I'll do it again once that female caster comes.
ASL Season12 24강
We are finally done with ASL Season 12 Round of 24 Group C. The second player who will be advancing into Round of 16 will be JYJ. Congratulations JYJ. Thank you. And you once again made it into Round of 16. And how do you feel today? So he felt he was about to get eliminated, but he feels relaxed after winning the game on the final match.
정영재 선수를 흔들려는 모습이 좀 보였는데 특히 첫 경기는 또 캐리어에 좀 흔들릴 수밖에 없었어요. 드랍십도 끊겼고 멀티도 좀.
So from game number 1 on Eclipse against Movie, Movie was catching all of your dropship movement at the 5 o'clock side and 12 o'clock side both of the times. So JYJ is saying about the game that when he lost those 2 dropship, had 8 vultures inside total, so he lost 20 supply for nothing and no harassment whatsoever. So when he lost those dropship, he thought, oh, this is not today. This is not the day for me to make it into round of 16. But things were working well with the timing attack, with the 2 base 2-1 upgrade with the mass army. So in the last game against Movie, the final match, Movie was denying your SCV scout all the time, and what was your decision making there? And JYJ said Movie was somewhat stubborn, like denying the scouting SCV so much that he kind of like knew something will be coming soon.
근데 마지막 판은 조금 예상을 했고 두 번째 판에 이제 윤철이랑 할 때
so were you somewhat like not prepared for those kind of strategy when products were doing? And JYJ is saying he expected that was coming in game number 3 for him, so that would be the final match. So he expected Movie will be busting his natural. He knew it will be coming, but he didn't expect Snow will be going for 1 Zalat into 1 gun pressure against him on Ascension. He doesn't want to play against Snow once again. He doesn't like to play against Snow because he's like one of the top Protoss player in this Broodwar scene or Starcraft scene.
성장 시즌이라고 생각한다라고 말씀을 해주셨는데 끝으로 팬들에게
JYJ is saying in this ASL Season 12, it's more likely for his journey for like improving or working on his weaknesses more. A lot of any last word for your fans, and he wants to say a lot of fans have so much of a high expectation because he made it into quarterfinal last season. They are all thinking it's somewhat like 100% sure JYJ will be making it into round of 16 or round of 8 once again, but he doesn't want that. He doesn't want those much of a pressure by fans, but he's always be thankful to his fans. Thank you for the support. He'll try his best for the round of 16 as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scan, for the translation, and we are getting a look at the results again. Of course, Snow taking down Hyuk, JYJ taking down Movie, Snow making it out in first place, taking down JYJ, Movie beating Hyuk, and then JYJ again taking down Movie. That means JYJ is going to be our first Terran player from the round of 24 to make it to the round of 16. Of course, we have Rush in the round of 16 automatically seeded because of his great placement in last season. And then, of course, Mini Hero and Queen also sitting there as the seeds. We've got 4 Protoss, 4 Zerg, so Terran players need to catch up. Remember, in the round of 24, it was 8-8-8 across the board for the races, so it was even before the first 2 groups were done. Now, Group D, we've got Soma versus Hyun and Mong versus Barrick. So again, another old school player making a comeback in Hyun. We're going to see how well he can play versus that upcoming, or well, not upcoming, but the new face, Soma, who's just so deadly and innovating the Zerg meta these days.
And we also need to mention about the schedule here. It is going to be tomorrow. It's not on Sunday, guys.
Yeah, this season the schedule is quite weird. It's just all over the place. As you mentioned, today or tomorrow, it's going to be Group D. So we're going to have back-to-back ASL groups. That'll be exciting. What are your thoughts on Group D tomorrow?
Group D tomorrow. Hyun is one of the Zerg player who is really good at ZVZ. I'm pretty sure he's like one of the top ZVZ player in the Caspa era as well. So Soma, even though Soma has those career making it into second place in ASL, he still needs to not let his guard down against Hyun, because you cannot always underestimate those career or experience that all those pro players have. And Mong, he has been playing so well, but he usually gets knocked out in like round of 16 so easily, but he's so good in round of 24 all the time.
Yeah, Mong versus Barracks should be a good matchup. TVT is one of my favorites when you have players like Mong and Barracks facing off of each other. The unit movement is so key in TVT. It's nice to see top players play that matchup. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the Soma versus Hyun game. I wasn't aware that Hyun was so good at ZVZ. I think I remember you telling me, wasn't he like second behind Jaedong a long time ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy, because Jaedong back then had what, like a 70% win rate, just absolutely unheard of. So that should be an exciting ZVZ. And as I mentioned, Soma's been innovating the Zerg meta. I'm not too sure how much he's innovating the ZVZ meta in particular, but we know that he's done a lot of changes in ZVT, ZVP. I've even seen in ZVT like 9 hatch.
Well,
it's just very weird these days. So I'm sure if we get we're definitely going to get a ZVT with him. It'll be fun to see what he pulls out versus Mong or Barracks when they face off.
Yeah, I like how Soma is working on those new build that he's showing off on actual tournament games. I like it, but some people like who are not familiar or just a casual StarCraft player, they do not know about this thing. Like, those strategy does exist in the back then, but the optimization was so poor. And remember, like StarCraft Broodwar, the latency is like what, almost like above 200 ms latency with the ping. So the micromanagement is completely different with the StarCraft Remastered, because we are playing on Tournament 24. That is about 125 ms of the ping latency. So it just becomes a different meta.
Yeah, it's just completely different when you don't have to play in lag. So it will be I want to say nice to see, but it'd just be interesting to see if Soma pulls out one of those old school styles that you just talked about. Because I remember in the olden days when I even played Zerg, I would play 9 hatch. So if he pulls out something like that, that'd be pretty cool to see. But that is going to be it for us today, guys. I think we're just waiting for the casters to wrap up, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be wrapping up here momentarily. So again, thank you guys for watching. Remember, Group D is tomorrow. It's not on Sunday. So we're going to have back-to-back groups, and I hope to see you there because we're going to have some great ZVZ, ZVT, and TVT coming at you.